Hi, Carmina?
I have a code for you. It's 5912.
All right. I was just talking to somebody about how much I love this feature.
You love it?
Oh, yeah, it's great because it's a safety thing,
Uh-huh.
and I think more people should use it.
Yeah, totally.
Have you ever gotten in the wrong Uber?
No, but somebody has gotten into my Uber.
Ooh. Yeah.
Like at the airport or something. I was in Nashville and there were so many Ubers and everything, and we saw somebody like almost get into the car.
Oh,
and
wow.
we're like, that car is for us.
Oh, that's so funny.
So
Yeah. A PIN code would have fixed that problem.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I was at like picking up at like some school event, and apparently my car's super popular because people got into my car thinking I was their Lyft, and then other people got into that car thinking it was, and then like they had to trade places. They had to like call me like, no, it's
So
the
it
other
was
one.
the same exact model?
Same exact model, same everything. And then at the airport, I had the same thing, except I pulled up, and so it was like, oh, you're here, and my passenger got in somebody else's car, like put their luggage in, got all their
Oh
stuff,
my gosh.
and took off, and then was like ready to go, and I was like, that was the wrong person.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that like users of Uber should be able to put like profile pictures too. I don't know if we can do that.
Oh, and that's what this person was talking about, that because they're an Uber driver, and he was like, yeah, Lyft lets you put the picture of the passenger.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea who I'm picking up half the time. I just have to be like, that looks like a Carmina. I'm gonna guess maybe. I don't know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder how they do it. Like, especially at Midway Airport.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how do they know it's me? There's so many people, and they
Yeah.
just pull right up to me every time.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
The app does at least give you like it makes a marker so you know kind of
Yeah.
where the passenger is if you're outside. If you're covered or something, it doesn't do that. So it'll say, and as long as you're kind of close to the stop, it'll tell you. And I always know, like, you can tell when somebody's looking for an Uber because they keep looking at the phone and looking out, and it's like, okay, that's probably that person.
The nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. There's a science behind it.
Exactly. I've been doing it enough. I learned a couple of the tricks.
Yeah. How long have you been doing Uber?
This time around, I actually just started in February.
Nice.
I took all of COVID off because I have a daughter and I didn't want to get COVID and get her sick. But she gave me COVID 4 times.
Wow. Love
Yeah, I know. She's a kid, so fine. She got her elementary school, gave it to me. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to get started on it. Before that, I was driving for like, probably about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And then I took 3 years off. But what I really like to do, the reason I like it is I'm a comedian.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and so I like chatting with people. I work 9 to 5. I do tech, so like I don't need the money. I do it to actually see people and have conversations. And then I was thinking about starting a show because I'm already recording.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking to start a show called Getting in Cars with Strangers, where I just talk to people.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, yeah, so I think I'm working on that. But yeah, so I started again, and I was like, all right, maybe I'll start doing that too. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So do you work fully remote?
I do. I'm 100% remote since like 2017. I've been remote.
2017. Ahead of the curve.
Yeah, way ahead, right? I was double jobbing before it was cool. Because, doing that, and when COVID happened, people were like, oh, like contractors were coming out, like, we need remote. So I was working like 2 or 3 contracts at a time.
Really?
Yeah, it was a lot. But again, I was doing that in 2017 too, and then come to find out other people, once that happened, a lot of people started doing that too. But yeah, so it's been cool. What do you do for 9 to 5?
I am in finance. I work HR for investment and financial advising for like a company outside of Minneapolis called Thrive.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm also remote.
Sure.
So going out and shopping and stuff, and I do master's program at night at the Paul.
Oh, cool.
It lets me be social.
There you go. That's how you get out.
Yeah.
What are you doing your master's in? Human resources?
Just communications with
okay.
a concentration in interpersonal.
Ooh, okay.
I really like studying human relationships.
I think they're amazing.
Yeah. And I didn't really do like psychology in undergrad, but if I did, I would probably be in a psych program because it's kind of really similar to interpersonal communication.
Sure.
But yeah, I didn't do that. I also think like communications opens up doors in like the business and marketing realm.
Right, as a basic thing you can use into other things. Right. Yeah, I think it's very interesting. Interpersonal marketing, right, is another thing that goes into the psychology of how do humans interact with each other,
Yeah.
right? We're all stuck on this ball. We're all living here, and it turns out we don't know how to interact with each other at all.
Mm-hmm.
I think social media is making that worse, not better. People are on a phone. They don't know how to interact with a person.
I know, yeah. Yeah, that's so fascinating that things that are the phones and internet that are supposed to connect us with others is actually driving us all apart.
Right? I mean, it's true. I've never had a better relationship with my sister or my mom,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, how do I interact with other people? You know,
Right.
that's the thing. And then I heard also with dating, I don't know if you're on doing any of the dating, online dating,
no.
right? It's good for you. It's terrible. And I was reading about one of the major issues with like men of younger generations than mine
Yeah.
is that they're all porn addicted.
Oh, for sure.
And they don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to work. And so it's really, really interesting in a bad way. I'm like, how if you can't talk, you can't interact, how are you going to make babies? How are you going to like
Yeah,
do all that?
exactly.
They don't know. Have you encountered that? Do you think like porn addiction is like a big deal in society currently?
I don't really know anything about that. I don't really have my hands in that field,
Sure.
but I definitely think that it can impact the way both men and women view intimacy.
Yes. That's exactly it. I was talking to a person who's a sexologist,
Mm-hmm.
and that's exactly what she was saying, that on both sides, hookup culture,
Yeah.
online pornography, and online dating have all made it to where we're commoditizing connections.
Oh,
We're not
for
actually
sure.
being vulnerable and talking. It's just, what can I get out of this? I'm trying to fill a need. I'm trying to fill an experience or a fantasy or an idea. It's
Mhm.
not about that connection with that
Yeah.
other person.
Yeah, I definitely see that.
Yeah.
More of that side of things than like the intimate part, but yeah, like people in my generation, especially men, like fear of commitment.
Sure.
Yeah. And it is probably because of like the instant gratification of like dating apps and
Mhm.
hookup culture.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. And then I guess the question is, that's a great question that I've been wondering. What do you get out of commitment?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So what would you say, what would be the reason to commit?
To commit,
Yeah.
stability. I don't know. I'm kind of traditional with like love, I guess, in general, and I see like having one committed partner as a good thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
So having that stability, having a regular connection, having and
It's also just like safer, like sexually. You don't know how many people you're.
STDs or
Yeah.
STIs. STDs is
Yeah.
a very important factor. You're
Yeah.
right.
And if you want to build a future with somebody, then you can choose like if your partner like you can choose a partner based on their like career too.
Right, and say, okay, how's this going to work out financially? Are we going to be able to feed our kids later?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And so I wonder if traditionality is still something people are looking for. Because
Yeah.
this is another study I was reading about where they were saying that something like 70% of like Gen Z or younger don't want to have kids at all.
Oh yeah, for sure. I see that with a lot of my peers.
Yeah.
Not wanting to have kids, not wanting to get married, and I'm like, what
Yeah.
is going on?
Right? They just want to focus on business. It's really
Yeah.
it's really interesting. I'm unfortunately I try and say it like I'm a lot more monogamous and traditional than I try to be or say to be. I'm like, I'm all for every other type, but I'm like, the way I am, I want more kids, I want to do all that stuff,
Yeah.
but it's like it seems like nobody wants to.
Yeah.
They certainly don't with me, that's for sure. But
That's funny. Yeah, no. I'm just like same, like more power to you, whatever life you want to live, as long as it's fulfilling you.
yeah,
But we all have our own preferences.
exactly. So you want to have kids someday?
Yeah, there's no timeline for me.
That's good.
I have a partner, and we're kind of just putting our careers first right now
Yeah.
because we both want to raise a child in a really stable home, like financially stable home.
Sure, no, that's smart. And if you can do that, it makes a lot of sense.
Obviously, it's like in God's time.
Right.
And I always hear the saying, like, you make plans and God laughs.
Right.
So, you never know when something's actually going to happen.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And, like, I always say, like, it doesn't matter how ready you are, you're never actually ready for kids. You're just
Right.
not.
I feel the same about marriage. The older I get, I'm like, marriage is a scary thing, and nobody's actually 100% sure.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because every marriage that fails was meant to go until death do you part.
Yes.
It just was. So it's just not. It's risky. And then, like, again, me as a guy, I lose half my finances and my kid.
Ugh.
Right.
It is scary. Like with divorce, I feel like women are very favored in like the legal system.
Oh yeah.
No matter if the woman is like suited for parenthood or not. I see so many women who are like in addiction and they win the kids even though the father is like perfectly able.
Right.
So
yeah, it's just that they favor the mom, and it's really unfortunate. That's exactly the scenario I'm in right now with my daughter. And it's really unfortunate.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's not any better, and it doesn't matter. It's just but lawyers are happy to take my money.
Seriously.
Happy to.
I mean, that's their job.
Yeah, right. So that's where it goes. I'm in the wrong career. I should have been a lawyer.
Yeah. Well, you can drop me anywhere.
Cool. Yeah, it says, let's see here, right here, the Arts and Letters.
Yes.
All right.
Perfect. Thank you for the ride.
Likewise.
And best of luck with your family and your drives and everything, and drive safely.
I'm gonna need it. Have a great one. Thank you.
you.